So what is the best camera for YouTube this year? I'm gonna go through my top picks as well as the pros and cons of each of them coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media TV, help you go further, faster in media. And we're here at NAB 2016. It's been an incredible show. And I've been asking myself this question: what is the best all-around camera right now for YouTubers and video creators when it comes to price, performance, features? And so let's go see how the cameras stack up and which one you might want to pick up this year. Okay, so after attending CES this year and NAB, I really was able to get a pulse on what is the best all-around camera from YouTube. And my first recommendation is the Sony A6300. Now, if you're doing some research, you're probably noticing that Sony is just killing it. They seem to be ahead of everybody else, and I'm noticing a lot of solid YouTubers are trusting Sony, as well as a lot of indie filmmakers and video creators seem to be shifting towards Sony. And I noticed Philip Bloom at NAB walking around with Sony cameras. My friend Tony, who's creating a lot of amazing films and commercials, is using a lot of Sony cameras, and even YouTubers like It's Judy Time and Benji, who I work with, are using Sony. So Sony is really bringing their A game, and the 6300 is amazing. It's a mirrorless camera that costs right around $1,000 USD or $1,150 with the kit lens. It's small and compact and lighter than a traditional DSLR, and it has absolutely killer autofocus, not just for photo, but also for video. It's got a mic input so you can add external audio, important for YouTubers, and it also does 4K. However, it has really bad rolling shutter, which means this like jello effect when you shoot 4K video on it. But here's the thing, I think 4K is a little overhyped for the average everyday video creator or person making videos for YouTube. That being said, if 4K is something you want, it's got it. But I do know that a lot of people looking for cameras for YouTube videos want a screen that flips all the way to selfie, and this camera does not have that. So if that's something you want, to be able to flip the screen and be able to see yourself when you're making videos, keep on looking. Now, my second camera that I recommend when you consider features, price, performance is the Panasonic G7. This is probably one of the best budget 4K shooters that there is. That's why I picked it up. You've got a mic input, you've got the flip out screen that can do selfie, and it only cost around $800 USD with the kit lens. However, I shopped this one down to right around $500. So I'm always looking on Amazon in the used section. So you can check the exact current prices with the links in the YouTube description below. Now, one of the downsides that is important to YouTubers and solo video shooters that are shooting by themselves is the autofocus during video is not great. So you can't turn on face tracking like you can on a 70D like I'm shooting on right now and have it really keep autofocus. But if you have somebody helping you or that's not important to you, then this is a solid choice. And the third mention is the Panasonic FC300, which is essentially this camera without an interchangeable lens. So you will be stuck with the fixed lens when you shoot on the FC300. However, you get 4K video and you get a lot of the features, and it only runs about $600, and you could shop it down to $400. And of course, like I said, most people probably won't be using 4K, so the HD video looks very solid. You get the mic input. And so if you are looking for a solid camera for YouTube and you're budget conscious, I would shop for used like new of an FC300 that you might be able to pick up for around 400 bucks. It's gonna be a solid camera. Now, my next recommendation would be to check out a Canon camera, either the T6i, the 70D, or the 80D. Now, besides the 80D, two of those are not new cameras. However, I still think they're some of the most solid options. I think the Canon T6i Creator Bundle is a great package for making YouTube videos. You just need to also order a tripod, and then you've got a mic, your SD card, your camera, and you're ready to go. I think one of the huge selling points of Canon is that their cameras are super dependable, user-friendly, and there's a huge lens selection, and lenses are readily available, whether from just local photographers and videographers or used on Amazon or even Craigslist. And so you can always upgrade your glass, your lenses, to get even a better looking video picture. So the T6i is great, but if you want to spend a little bit more, you could grab a Canon 70D or an 80D. And I would probably recommend the 70D for a few reasons. Number one, popular YouTuber Casey Neistat uses the 70D, tested an 80D for a month, and came back and reported that he was switching back to the 70D because of some dependability issues on the 80D.
But this thing's got very serious reliability issues, like major. Do you see that?
I definitely trust his advice. Plus, the Canon 70D is right around $1,000 and the Canon 80D is right around $1,200 for really not much more that you need for average day-to-day video creation. And because the 80D is a new release, it's really driven down 70D prices for people that want to upgrade. So I've been seeing them going for around $700 used. And so you can really pick up a Canon 70D, which is a great camera. In fact, it's still my go-to camera. It's what I'm shooting on right now with a Canon 10-18 lens and a Rode Mic Pro. Solid setup. I actually don't really want 4K right now because HD footage edits really fast on the computer, so I can crank out a lot of videos. And the great thing about the T6i, the 70D, and the 80D is they do have a flip out selfie screen. So if you're shooting just like this and you want to check the shot like I can check it right now, you're able to do that. So it's a solid selling point for a lot of people making YouTube videos. And then kind of switching categories, but still for the best all-around cameras for YouTube, I would recommend a couple point and shoots that you might want to check out. The first is the Sony RX100 IV. There wasn't a new announcement from Sony this year, and it still seems to be the go-to kind of vlogging camera, walk around point and shoot for a lot of the big vloggers, YouTubers, and even kind of professional indie filmmakers. Now the RX100 IV has good autofocus during video. It can shoot 4K footage. It does have an electric viewfinder that pops up, and it does beautiful footage in low light, a good walk around photography camera, but it's still running around $950, so it's a little bit steep for most people. So the more budget option would be the Canon G7X. Now, new this year is the Canon G7X Mark II, and I did a full video on that, so I'll link it up on the YouTube card in the description so you can see kind of the in-depth difference between the Mark II and the Mark I, which is what I'm holding right here. Now the G7X is really a highly acclaimed camera among YouTubers, video creators, and vloggers around the world. And of course you have the flip-up screen. You also get that with the RX100 IV, but it's a lot more affordable. The new version of this that I checked out at NAB is gonna be available for $700 and looks amazing. But the end result and the footage that you get from the G7X Mark II is probably not gonna be a lot different than the Mark I. And the cool thing is that it's pushed the price down. And so the Mark I is only $570 right now, but I also noticed on Amazon, you can pick up an international version of the G7X for right around $450. And it looks like it has super solid reviews that you're getting essentially the exact same thing, just the international version. So if you're looking for small, portable, and especially if you want to create vlogs and be able to carry a camera around like this, that international version might be a super cool way to save some money. The one thing to note about these point and shoots, the Sony and the Canon, is that there is not a mic input and you do have a fixed lens. So if you want a little more scalability and more options when it comes to creating your videos, adding mics and things like that, you might want to check out some of the cameras mentioned earlier on in the video. And hey, if your budget is actually lower than the cameras mentioned in this video, check out my video, the best and cheapest cameras for YouTube. I'll link it up on the YouTube card. I'll put it in the description below. That video covers some incredibly affordable and super solid cameras that you might want to check out. Let's get back to NAB. Question of the day, what do you think the best camera for YouTube is right now? Post it in the comment section below, and remember that some of the best tips, ideas, and recommendations come from you, the Think Media TV community. So make sure to connect with everybody down there. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this, and to see all the other videos that we did at NAB this year, check out the YouTube playlist, click the YouTube card, we'll post it there, as well as in the YouTube description, and you can see all the interviews, all the gear reviews, and things like that. Till next time, Think Media TV is helping you go further, faster in media. Keep crushing it, and we'll talk soon. Shoot day nutrition is no joke. White balance.